What makes the Muppets very, very special is the puppeteers, of course. It's not the puppets, it's the puppeteers, and they were incredible.
The Muppet Company was really like a rep group. It was one of those great creative atmospheres where everybody was throwing ideas in for each other.
If you looked at the Muppet Show, the backstage, and then the onstage characters and how they worked, it's exactly like we worked. It was like zany, it was full-hearted and serious. It was a very similar tone, and I think that's one of the things that made the show work.
You know, we were essentially being paid to act out, and so we did.
Yeah, here I am, New Zealand, and my fabulous singing fish.
Jim would find people that he believed in, and once they were on board, he would trust them.
My ancestor, the Viking, was terrible at plundering and pillaging.
He was?
Yes, he plundered his plundering and he blundered. He was stupid with his pillaging.
He had a way of pulling the right people in that would just spark something, and that would spark someone else. And so somehow he knew that these people were supposed to be working together because that was going to create something amazing.
Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and dogs and frogs and pigs and chickens, and welcome to the Muppet Show.
It was Jim/Kermit as this central figure who was kind of surrounded by all these incredibly crazy characters and people, and trying to pull that together into something is what the Muppet Show was about, and that's what was going on underneath and behind the scenes as well.
What are we going to do? What can we do? Get some costumes, Scooter, get a couple of tents, Fozzie, a palm tree.
Kermit always trying to keep everybody together, all these quirky, mentally challenged people. And that happens below the camera also with all of us.
Hey, wait a minute. I can handle this. I can cope with it. After all, I am an important bear. I am capable. I am poised.
Hiya, Fozzie.
I am.
I've always said, and I still believe, that we all basically rode on the coattails of Jim Henson and Frank Oz. They were a comedy duo that is up there with Laurel and Hardy. I mean, they had that sense of timing. They had that sense of play between themselves. They had that ability to understand each other's characters and play off them with their characters.
He's not as funny as I am, huh?
Well, sometimes he's funnier.
He's funnier?
Jim really was very smart about the people that he brought in and that he thought would be a great addition to this core group. You know, you have scripts and people have ideas and the writers have ideas. Still, the relationships that happen underneath those puppets are what are driving those characters.
It was very much kind of the old master and apprentice kind of thing. You know, you had this guy who was the master and his group of people who were really the best at what they did in the world, and you came in as an apprentice and you learned these things slowly, and you had a lot of opportunity to really mess things up and redeem yourself.
Hi, are you Kermit the Frog?
Yeah.
I'm Scooter.
Cute name.
I'm your new gopher.
New characters were a result of cross-pollination between four sources. One would be Jim, the writers, the Muppet Workshop, and the performers. So anybody could come up with an idea for a new character. You take an aspect of your personality and isolate it and amplify it, and then usually it's a flaw. It's usually a flaw within yourself, and you find a way to make it lovable. And if you can do all that, you've got a character.
Oh, you come to the right people. You just tell me and Beaker what you want.
Okay, well, I want a royal barge and a sphinx, and don't forget the pyramids.
Oh, sure, pyramids. But what shape do you want them?
I did these sketches of two old men on a sofa, and I gave it to Jim. That's where the old men came from. I started thinking, oh, wouldn't it be funny? Can't you imagine what these two old men there, they have their brandy, they have their cigar, they're sitting there chatting away.
Well, it may be the first time we ever agreed on anything in our lives.
No. We once agreed in the summer of 1912, yes.
What was that?
We agreed that Kaiser Bill looked silly in a hat. Remember?
No.
Well, who are you?
Who am I?
Piggy just arrived in a group of pigs. Someone threw a blonde wig on one of a bunch of pigs, and Frank Oz picked it up, and everybody laughed hysterically.
Piggy, honey, you can take the solo.
Yes, my love.
The first time she was ever asked for in a script, it was just Kermit talking to a chorus girl. It was only identified in the script as chorus girl. There is a moment when I think Piggy really gelled on the show, and it came completely from Frank. It's a performance moment. Maybe the third show in, we wrote a piece of material into a script in which the pig got so annoyed at Kermit or took something the wrong way and slapped Kermit. And Frank got onto the set and discovered he could not make a slap look believable. The slap just looked terrible. And he grew more and more frustrated with it as he rehearsed it and tried to do it. And then suddenly he went, hi-ya! and did the karate chop, and everybody in the room fell on the floor. It just gelled the whole character.
Well, one man's poison is another man's bacon.
Barbarian.
I remember I had to perform Frank's characters for a movie because he was shooting a movie at the time, so he couldn't be there to perform his characters. He said, okay, Piggy is a man, a truck driver, wanting to be a woman. Fozzie is like Jerry Lewis, you know, this very innocent, very, vulnerable clown.
Fozzie, are you trying to be pushy or something?
Oh, no. I mean, yes. I am trying to be more decisive. Maybe.
And of course, Animal is, eat, sleep, women.
Animal, why don't you tell our audience, how long have you been playing the drums? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Gonzo was a little character in one of the specials, and then Dave got a hold of him and rebuilt him, Dave Goles, because he just liked him and he made him better, and then that became Gonzo.
7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 17. Oh, let me count that. 7, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Carry the 1, 11, 12.
Don Celine, I know, made Ralph the dog, and when you look at Don Celine's designs, Ralph is very quintessentially a Don Celine design.
I think this is a bear I'm operating on.
Why?
Because I'm barely operating.
That was a very cutting remark.
Ralph, to me, being something of a philosopher dog, he's one of Jim's alter egos and is really my favorite.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do.
I think that people must feel touched by our characters. Whenever we do work around the public, there's just an outpouring of love.
My favorite moments spanned 5 years and 120 shows. I mean, everybody came along and had the best time. It was never offensive, it was never blue. It was just at a level of humor that was tweaked.
I think you're sensational.
That's a wonderful legacy of all those Muppet things. Had that wonderful, innocent sweetness to them.
No matter how cynical the age is that we live in everyone, there is an innocent place. And these characters speak to that innocent place. They allow you, they give you permission to go to a place that nobody else does.